talking about the proof of losses and submitting, and then new information being presented, amended, resubmitted for proof of loss.
Revisions on your SPOL?
Yeah.
Okay.
Initial proof of loss is filed when the claim is filed, right? You dropped up what you believe is the worst case scenario for this loss per policy condition.
You look just like that actor. That's been killing me. What's his
Ooh,
name?
What actor?
Yeah, he looks like one of the actors. I mean, you're
Oh,
a
I
damn
don't know.
ringer for it. I'm gonna find that guy.
Okay.
When you talk, I just look at it and I think of that guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was a good actor. I can't remember what his name was.
Because what we have found is like, so no claim is static. They're ever evolving, more information is presented. There's statute timelines that are triggered when the proof of loss is submitted.
Yes.
The submission of multiple proofs of losses, like figuring out when to submit it, and then what information is provided, and if that continues to extend those timelines for the carrier, like.
So you're creating a new timeline just for that incremental part that you're adding in for the very first time. Okay, so if you wrote the proof of loss for 250,000, and you went back out and you realized, hey, it's not 250, it's 265. There's some components I left out of that, right? And you're submitting a revised proof of loss for that. For that $15,000 for that scope of work that's associated with that, you're putting the insurance company on notice for the very first time of that. And so they have a new time clock as that's involved. The prior scope of work, the $250,000 already been submitted, it doesn't restart the clock on that, right? Nothing changed from A to B, right? Except for that increase right there, that $15,000 scope.
Yeah, that would include like engineer reports and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you feel like, and you should, right? I mean, you want to make sure that when you're submitting the proof of loss, you believe it's accurate, right? You're not prematurely submitting it. You think you have a complete and full understanding of what the damage is. But things happen, right? You realize there's something else damaged. You do a reinspection. You identify additional items, right? Correct that, right? You want to resolve that issue as soon as you can. And so you're doing the proper thing, but it's not restarting the clock all over again. It's like, oh, I had them on the clock and they only had 2 days left. Now I got to submit this, and they start getting, no, don't worry about that, right? It's just for that incremental difference there.
What we're talking about is why statute of limitations exists. Right? That's why the statute of limitations is there, is for us to be able to go in and include additional items that was hidden from us to begin with. Okay, you take a car in and they see that the front rim has been damaged. We don't know what's underneath that until we tear the car down. That's what it allows us to go in there and do the initial assessment of all the known damages. You should never be, give you a straight up example. We have a set of kitchen cabinets. The cabinets are damaged, so we got to take the cabinets out and replace the cabinets. What do we do with the Formica top? What'd you say? That's correct. Why do we not replace it? Because if it's installed right, it's going to break when we're coming off. But why aren't we replacing it now?
We don't know, it's not.
Because the son of a bitch ain't broke now. Right? We're doing it for what's factual, not what we believe to be happening. So your SPOL should reflect what is actual here. If that thing breaks, that is an absolute supplemental item that statute of limitations, that's the whole point of it. You go in and start doing it. We have the ability to go back and get it covered. We couldn't charge for it in the beginning because the son of a bitch wasn't broke yet. But there's pretty good odds. How many of y'all have ever installed Formica countertops? If that thing's installed right, it's going to come off in pieces. It's not coming off in one deal. But it hasn't happened yet.